So this is a Lee household mill for milling flour. This particular model is their top of the line 600. It has a variable grind up here from coarse to fine for the flour when it mills. I've used it one time and then cleaned it. I ground approximately a pound of flour. And then now what happens is I cleaned it, reassembled it. When I plugged it in, it won't stay on. So just to show that with all the pieces, and these are the pieces down here, there's a ring here that goes to the back. This is the stone, this is the plate that goes over that, and then this is the final piece that goes on. That even without these pieces installed, this motor still runs intermittently. Now I'm going to plug it in, and I'm not plugging it and unplugging it. I can just show you I'm plugging it in and you'll be able to hear the motor and what's happening with this. So you can see it's intermittent. Initially I put it together and it was intermittent, and there was a question about my putting it together correctly. Following the instructions, there's only 4 pieces to put in there. So just showing you that even without the pieces that I had originally taken off and none of the rest of this was touched, that we have an intermittent motor. But this ring goes in first according to the directions. And you make sure that's in there tight and flush, which it is. Now I've removed these screws because the screw head actually gets in the way of putting this in there without it being cocked, because you want to make sure that you put this in very smoothly, which I did. And you can see it's free, it's in there flat, and it's actually moving. Okay. Then there's a plate, which if you look at the plate, there's a lip going back this way and there's a lip down here coming out. This lip is supposed to face outward according to the diagram they provide. So that goes in place. There's one screw here. There's another on this side. And then there's the front cover that goes in place. Now when assembling this, I was still making sure that even the screws were being tightened the same amount so that we had an equal amount of pressure on both sides. But again, you could see that even without any of this in place, that the motor still was running intermittently. I'll plug it back in again. I don't want to run it too much because there's a very distinct smell coming out of the motor which tells me there's something in there that's a problem, and I obviously don't want to burn the unit up, but just to show you. And so it is doing exactly the same as it was without those pieces in there. The unit is going back to Lee. Like I said, I've used it once. We'll see what they say, and hopefully I get a working unit back so I can do a bit of a review on the product for all of the standard process practitioners out there who want to be able to recommend the units, as well as anybody who's just into home baking. So you can find out more about this machine by looking up Royal Lee and the Lee household mill.